Welcome to Life is a Video Game. If you're new here, this channel looks at the world the way a quiet player studies a complex game, patiently, carefully, and with an eye on the deeper mechanics beneath the surface. Today's topic is one many people whisper about privately, but rarely say aloud. Why does it seem like the bad people are winning? Why do the ones who take from others, bend rules, or silence their conscience move ahead faster than those who try to live with awareness and integrity? It's an uncomfortable question. It creates doubt in good people. But if you look at the game closely, the answer is not what it appears to be. Let's walk through this slowly. From the outside, harmful players move quickly. They make decisions without hesitation, they don't pause to consider the emotional cost, and because of that, they act with a kind of speed that most people can't match. In a world built on competition and noise, speed often looks like intelligence, it looks like power, it looks like they're winning. But what you're seeing is only the front of the stage. A bright spotlight hides everything happening backstage. The boldness that pushes them forward is the same boldness that blinds them. They move fast, but they move blindly. They take opportunities, but they ignore the consequences attached to them. And in the early parts of life, those consequences are still small and quiet, so no one notices. To the casual observer, it looks like success. To someone who understands how games work, it looks like someone spending all their resources without checking their long-term health bar. Every action affects the inner world before it affects the outer one. When someone hurts others, something inside them has to shut down. They dim their empathy. They mute their conscience. They bury the part of them that should have said, "Stop." That silence comes with a price. A mind that turns off its warnings becomes harder to inhabit. Over time, these players lose their natural sensitivity to meaning. They can no longer feel the difference between what is right for their soul and what simply feeds their ego. Their motives shrink, their world becomes narrow, and the quieter parts of life, connection, trust, inner peace, drift out of reach. That is the first cost, the loss of the self they were meant to grow into. A win that requires self-betrayal is not really a win. It's the beginning of spiritual amputation. There's another part of the story that becomes obvious with age. People who act without conscience tend to live at the edges of the game. Their wins are dramatic, but so are their collapses. They treat danger like a shortcut. They believe they're untouchable. And for a while, the world humors that belief. Life often lets you walk toward the edge before revealing how steep the drop is. Many of these players fall suddenly. Some lose everything they built. Some destroy their relationships. Some end up alone in a room full of trophies they can't feel proud of. And some face consequences far heavier than they ever expected. Everything built on unstable ground eventually cracks. The collapse always follows the pattern of the climb: fast, reckless, and unexpected. Now we zoom out. In this channel's philosophy, life isn't a one-time run. You respawn. You carry forward the momentum of your decisions, your intentions, and your actions. Karma is simply the echo of yourself meeting you again in a different lifetime. Someone who harms others may win the round they are in, but they weaken the player who has to continue after them. Their actions become weight. That weight becomes difficulty, and that difficulty becomes the new shape of their next life. A person can escape many things in one lifetime, but no one escapes themselves across lifetimes. When you look at life this way, the scoreboard changes completely. Short-term wins lose their shine. Long-term evolution becomes everything. When someone chooses to live through harm, manipulation, or domination, they're not just mistreating others. They're walking off the path their soul came here to explore. Every soul enters the game with a direction, a mission, a set of lessons they're meant to learn. Ignoring those lessons doesn't erase them, it only delays them. And every delay increases the difficulty of the next encounter. Harmful players don't just break rules, they break alignment. They move farther from their own purpose until life stops feeling like life and starts feeling like noise. The tragedy here is simple. They could have been so much more, but their choices led them into a version of themselves that wasn't part of their original design. Now, let's look at the other side of the game. Good players, the ones who try to act with awareness, responsibility, and empathy, don't always rise fast. Their progress is steady, not explosive. They take time to think. They consider their impact. They protect their conscience instead of silencing it. This slower movement feels frustrating at times, but it builds something powerful: stability. A good player's life may expand more quietly, but it expands in ways that last. Their relationships hold. Their decisions age well. Their inner world stays intact. And every lifetime after this one becomes easier, clearer, and lighter because of the way they carried themselves here. Their wins are not flashy. They're foundational. And in the long game, the only game that truly matters, the foundation is what determines everything. So are bad people winning? They might be winning pieces of the visible world. They might be loud in the early chapters of their story. They might impress people who only look at the surface. But in the deeper structure of the game, their path is narrow, unstable, and full of debt they will eventually have to pay. Good players win differently. They win by staying aligned with their conscience. They win by protecting their inner world. They win by carrying forward a cleaner, lighter save file into whatever comes next. And that kind of victory doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's invisible. But it lasts far longer than anything built on harm. If this video gave you something to think about, you're welcome to subscribe for more. And if you want to share your thoughts or experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. I read everything, and your reflections often shape the next videos.